Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Precious and this is Precious Reads. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a recommendation video. I haven't done one of these in a while. These are books that I've read in Kindle Unlimited that I have enjoyed. If you have not heard of Kindle Unlimited, first of all, where have you been? If you're a romance reader, if you're a fantasy reader, if you enjoy books by indie authors and like to support indie authors, Kindle Unlimited is a subscription service with Amazon where you can borrow books, up to 20 books, and yeah, from your favorite authors. Or I've seen big authors as well, like let's see, Brandon Sanderson had the Stormlight Archive until book 2 on there for a little bit and then he removed it again. So just, it's an amazing subscription service. If you are an avid reader, I would suggest it. It's really a money saver and allows you to explore a lot of new and up and coming authors. So anyway, let's get into my Kindle Unlimited recommendation video. The first book that I'd like to recommend is Nordic King by Karina Halle. I read this a couple of years ago. When I was getting back into reading, I read The Nordic King. It is a royal romance where we meet a girl. I think she's Australian. If my memory serves me correctly. She goes in for an interview, a nanny interview. She's never done this before, but you know, she needs a job, she's desperate, and she goes into interview for the nanny position. She meets the king and they get off on the left foot. He's very rude to her, he's very cold to her, and she is taken aback by it, but she gives it back to him, and then he hires her. She falls in love with his kids. Her name is Aurora, which is something that I remember. Yeah, her name is Aurora. So one of his kids thinks that's very cute and fun, and his name is King Axel. And this is just a love story. It also is set in a wintry time, so this is really nice to read, you know, in the winter season. If you have or experience snow, you will enjoy this because it will make it really more atmospheric. I'm from South Africa, it doesn't really snow, but I still felt like cozy, warm vibes from this. It was enemies to lovers, forced proximity, and single parent, which I loved. The next book that I'd love to recommend, this is one of my favorite books of all time and my favorite book boyfriends, and that is, I hope there's no glare, Twisted Emotions by Cora Reilly. I know in recent months she's become sort of controversial with some of her views and some of her book choices in terms of character design, and yeah, I don't have much to say about that or comment about this, but this is one of my favorite books. Twisted Emotions. Nico is one of my favorite characters. We meet Nico, he's part of the Cora brothers or mafia, and he is the second oldest, I think, and he has to get into an arranged marriage with Cora. Is her name Cora? Yeah, I think her name is Cora. But she has been abused and is very emotionally distraught. And one of my favorite scenes here is when he deals with the person who hurt her, and I loved him from that moment. This is one of my favorite mafia books, and I don't think there's been a mafia guy that has they can take his spot. They fall in love. It is a slow burn. It's an arranged marriage. It's pretty emotional. I'd say check your trigger warnings for some of the trauma that she's been through, but this was so worth it and was so beautiful, and I love it. And these are the new covers. I loved it. I liked the first cover because there's the dress in the book as well, but this, and I see Nino as having long hair, so I don't know, I still like it. Anyway, moving on. And then this was my first full foray into reverse harem and the Omegaverse that I don't actually quite understand as yet. But there's Lola and the Millionaires by Kathryn Moon, also available on Kindle Unlimited. And yeah, Lola again. What a lot of people don't really say when they talk about this book is that Lola has been traumatized and or assaulted and taken advantage of. There is, you know, issues of consent in her past, so she sort of isolated herself and tried to stay away from relationships. And she meets Leo, and Leo and her have an intimate encounter at a nightclub because she prefers that, and she feels safer with having these like once-off relationships or relations with men that she'll never see again in a controlled environment. And but in this world, there's alphas, omegas, and betas. She is afraid of alphas and really feels more comfortable dealing with betas, and that is what Leo is. But then she has a scent that he's close to or in relations with alphas, and that frightens her, and they separate. She is trying to get her life back together after experiencing a really traumatic experience and a very triggering experience. So just be careful, look after yourself before reading this. And she getting a new job, bringing her life back together. And who happens to be a new manager? Leo. And what doesn't Leo tell her? What she didn't know about Leo is that he's part of a pack. And Lola meets the pack one by one. They sort of woo her. Leo is my favorite. Rake is my second favorite. Matthew, he's there as well. Actually, I love all of them, whereas they really look after her. They really care for her. They're really patient with her, and they let her bloom at her own pace, but also trying to keep close proximity to her because they're in love with her. They're in love with her. And yeah, I absolutely love this. It was heartwarming. It was really triggering because I had no idea going into this book what Lola had been through, because a lot of people talk about this book, oh my god, it's an Omegaverse, whatever, and they don't talk about what Lola's been through. So just look after yourself before diving into this one. But it is absolutely amazing. It is amazing. And then this one took me by surprise because I had owned the physical book for a long time and I never read it. And then I was in one of my reading slumps, and then I picked it up. It is available on Kindle Unlimited, Choosing Theo, by Victoria Aveline. Alien romance. These people, this species of people, the men are trained how to look after women. This girl gets kidnapped by evil aliens. Something happens to their spaceship. She lands on this planet. I forgot what the planet is called, but Theo's planet. But in order for her to stay, because they don't really let humans stay in this planet, or do they go to Earth? So in order for her to stay, she has to get married. And so it's an arranged marriage. He is like, he's not the popular choice because people think he's scarring or he's tattooing or his markings are very strange, but she finds him attractive and it's the first thing that she notices about him. So yeah, they live together, they like learn about each other, they fall in love, and I absolutely loved it. It was so amazing. And I listened to it in audiobook. It's also available in script, but this entire series is available in Kindle Unlimited. Guys, read it. If you just want some uncomplicated nonsense, just pure fluff, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. There is an underlining plot about women getting stolen, because it's similar to Iceland and Barbarians in that their population is being depleted and there aren't enough women in their population, so they all want women to like increase their population. So that is an underlining plot, but other than that, it's just a good time. It's just a good time. And Theo is so sweet. I think I'm gonna reread this. I do. I'm gonna reread it. And then my final book, this got me back into reading romance when I like hadn't read in years, and hadn't read a romance in years, and hadn't read this type of like modern romance or contemporary romance in years. And that is Vicious by Shen. it is not the best. Now that I have explored different genres and read more in this genre, it is not the best, but I love it. I love it. I still love it. It still has a special place in my heart. So Vicious is a dual timeline, enemies to lovers romance. You could say high school bully as well, because there's two timelines, one when they're in high school and when they're older, when they meet again. And Vicious is like a snooty, like spoiled rich kid, and is her name Amelia? Her name is Amelia. And Amelia lives on Vicious's property because her parents work for his parents as like housekeeper and grounds manager. Yeah. And he hates her. He hates her because she starts dating his best friend, and he really makes her feel terrible. And as a result, she leaves their town because of him, and don't really know why, but you'll learn this why as you read the book. Years later, she's down on her luck. He's obviously successful, billionaire, millionaire, whatever, and she needs a job. He hires her, and that's where, like, for me, that's where it actually started, like the romance. The way he describes her in his head, the way she dresses, he's just like, why is she dressed like, why is she wearing that? Like, why? But he's so intrigued by it at the same time. If you don't like bully romances, which I don't like, but I like this one, you may want to steer clear from this. But I enjoyed it. I loved their like current timeline more than the teenage timeline. But yeah, check your trigger warnings for this, and it's part of a series. To be honest, I only like this and I think it's the second or third book, Scandalous. The rest of the books, I didn't really like them. The rest of LJ Shen's books, they don't really, I don't know. I've tried many of her books. Even just recently, I tried a novella on Audible called Hard Rock. Terrible, hated it, I didn't like it. I literally just like 2 books by her. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna read anything else by LJ Shen. Oh, I liked one more. There's 3 books that I like by her. It's this, Scandalous, and The Villain. I like those. So yeah. This, first of all, the cover as well is stunning. And like some of her, like the character pages, I love that. Yeah, those are the books that I've enjoyed from Kindle Unlimited. I absolutely love Kindle Unlimited, and I love that you can return, and there is no waiting list. You can return these books whenever you want. I absolutely loved these books. I don't really buy a lot of physical books, but these really stuck with me, so I had to own them. And yeah, so those are my Kindle Unlimited recommendations. All of these books are available or were available as of posting this book, because as I said, authors will remove and add books as they please, or I think it's about how they perform, honestly, but I don't know the back end of it. But yeah, as of August 2022, all these books are available in Kindle Unlimited, so run, don't walk. And yeah, those are my recommendations. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.